Welcome to Junior Sports Marketing, where we talk with the brands, athletes, and innovators pioneering youth sports. It's a $50 billion ecosystem, and it keeps growing. With nearly 50 million parents making up the world's most passionate fan base, this is the new frontier of sports marketing. Hey everyone, welcome back. Today I'm sitting down with James Murphy, who's the Global Director of Marketing at Unicor, the golf technology company behind some of the most trusted launch monitors and simulators in the game. Unicor just launched the Unicor Junior Academy, a program built to put pro-grade training technology in the hands of the next generation of golfers. James, welcome on. Very excited to have you. Golfer myself, so this one's going to be fun.
Thanks, Cam. Thanks for having me today.
Let's get to know James a little bit. James, who are you? What is your background? And how did you get started at Unicor?
Yeah, so I guess that kind of traditional creative marketing background, had a real passion for anything to do with creativity from a young age, and just rode that career all the way through. I was very fortunate. I had a family and an upbringing that really backed whatever made us happy as kids. And so, yeah, I guess the first half of my career was agency side, building teams and brands and launches, which was great. Loved every minute. I then progressed onto distribution side, where I worked there, helping ultimately bring products, own brands, and also some of the world's biggest and well-recognized products like Sony and Samsung and Apple and B&O products to market, which was great. And then made that transition to brand side, which was always part of the plan, really, kind of to do the agency, the distribution, to understand kind of sell in, sell through, sell out, and then joined Anchor, where I led EU marketing for Anchor before joining Unicor. And right place, right product, right time. The category has never been more exciting, and here I am.
Love it. Love it. Have to ask, James, how's your golf game these days?
Yeah, it's improving.
There you
I've only
go.
been playing 5 years. So my son George, he came home from school at 5 one day and was like, "I want to play golf." And
Isn't that the
my
dream?
wife and I, yeah,
Yeah.
my wife and I were like, "Okay," and we were really fortunate that the local golf club near us had a really great pro there, and he ran junior sessions that were a group session once a week on a Tuesday evening between 6 and 7, and there were like 10, 11 boys and girls of kind of fairly mixed ages, and George loved it, and actually so did I. I played rugby right up into my kind of early 40s. Couldn't play anymore. Actually ended up having my neck fused and a few other injuries, and really wanted to do something that was kind of competitive. And I started hitting a few balls with George, and then discovered that actually it was a way for us to really enjoy something together, and got the bug. I was in Scotland actually a few weeks ago now with some friends, and played Troon and many of the courses around there. Not the international course, but yeah, it was stunning. Shot 83 on one of
Hey,
the
there we go.
Sundays. So yeah, very happy with that, and we had great fun too. So the golf game is yeah, really improving actually.
Hey, well, you couldn't be at a better place to improve your golf game. So you hit on a little bit your son George, but for James, why is youth sports so important?
Yeah. Um, Sport is a big part of our family at home, actually. My wife played netball nationally. I know netball's not a really big thing for you guys in the US, but ultimately it's very similar to basketball without a backboard. So there's a hoop, you get it in. And she now coaches netball. My daughter plays netball at a very high standard. My son plays soccer in the Junior Premier League. He also plays rugby. He also plays golf. He's running in athletics, and it really is the glue for the family that really kind of ties us, pulls us all together. My wife, we're in different counties, different states
Yeah.
at the weekend, but we all come back together. And I guess ultimately, my wife and I, share this view that sport is so important for kids in that preparation of life, really. From understanding the importance of discipline, self-control, and mental preparation, even just physical preparation, saying to my son, are your boots ready the night before? Is your kit ready? Have you got your drinks bottle? Maybe having a bad game or something happening on the field. It's all, it's there. The same with golf. I played with my son a couple of weekends ago and he hit a couple of really bad shots. And I was like, George, how you deal with this right now is going to define the rest of your game. What is your ability to recover from this? And actually, all of that is so important for life and communication, team sport, and of course being coachable. So, are any of our kids going to be athletes? Who knows? I doubt it. But
I
are
hope
they going
so.
to be more
But
rounded
yeah,
individuals as a
right.
result of sport? Yeah, my wife and I really believe so, and certainly that's why anything to do with junior sport, we put a lot of time and energy into it.
The numbers, the facts, figures, whatever you want to call it, to your point of sport at a young age, especially team sport, can help mold a young man or woman into who they're going to become, right?
Yeah,
And it's so
yeah,
important, as you noted. It sounds like your children are in a lot of sports, which is incredible. The more specialization and things are coming out here, right? Uh, Man, it's just such an important time for kids to be in as many things as possible to kind of mold them into the person that they're going to be. And who knows? Yes, it would be amazing if they go pro in something, but at the end of the day, the values and what's instilled in you at such a young age is just vitally important and very hard to come by outside of sport, right? So, very well said. Switching gears to Unicor a little bit, what's Unicor's role in sports? And then I know we'll get to it a little bit more, but then maybe Unicor's role more precisely in youth sports.
yeah. I guess it's about providing the technology to help golfers understand and enjoy their game to the fullest.
Yeah, that, I mean, simply said, yeah, I think that shapes it. I know, as a golfer here in the States and a lot of the sim technology and a lot of the virtual technology is coming out. I know, especially in Chicago too, when you can only golf maybe 5 months of the year, if that. This type of technology has really made me enjoy the game a lot more. Um, but then shifting into Unicor's role in youth sports, we have the Junior Academy. Give us a quick overview of what it is, who it is for, and maybe how young people can get a part of it.
Yeah, really, it's a drive for us to invest in that next generation of junior golfers coming through, and really we're looking to support and back golfers that are 18 years and under, competing at a regional or national tournament level, and really helping by providing them with the technology, the support, and the platform to really be the best that they can be. And actually, that technology that we're really investing in, that very AI first, to truly help understand their game and their swing like never before. And actually, there are so many hurdles and barriers to coaching, and coaching is so important in any sport. And actually, my wife and I, our kids have extra tuition and extra coaching in different areas, and actually, in both instances with all of their sports, they're coming to us saying, "Oh, can I have some coaching?" And actually, that's tricky because coaching is really expensive,
Yeah,
and actually, it's a big burden on parents, single parents, or or in any situation. And actually, logistically as well, it's really hard because you've then got to ferry your kids around. And of course, many parents have got jobs and they've got commitments and they've got meetings and other pressures. So actually, it's about kind of really, reducing those barriers to entry and really saying, like, how can we really support these kids and how can we do everything we can to give them a platform to be the best that they can possibly be by removing those barriers. And actually, for example, AI Trainer, one of our AI enabled coaching tools, has the ability to give you one-to-one coaching completely personalized to your individual swing. You can have this set up at home, you can train, you can practice, you can play whenever you want. And my son, for example, He gets up most mornings and between 7 and 8 a.m. before we leave for school, he's shot 14, 15 holes. Or he's practicing on his swing, or on a morning that we go and play golf, he's downstairs in the morning, he's finishing his breakfast, he's into the basement, and he's hitting some shots to try and warm up and get ready because, of course, he wants to beat dad. And so really for us, it's really about empowering that next generation coming through and utilizing our technology to really help them accelerate their understanding of their game and how to improve.
And participation in youth golf is skyrocketing. Ever since COVID, it's almost back to COVID norms and exceeding that. When you look at this kind of momentum in youth sports and then especially golf, right? Was that a key insight into why Unicor took the leap for this program, or what kind of led to this program being founded and funded?
Yeah, without doubt, the data tells a story that participation is increasing at a rate of knots, and actually that's great to see. And I think the real planets are aligning with that natural interest. We've really seen that spike since COVID, but actually that demographic is changing, and those younger audiences that are coming through, and actually it's golf is more of a culture first rather than a sport to many, and a way to express themselves kind of physically and through their values and fashion and belonging to those communities, which is so exciting. Even myself, when I go to the driving range near where we live, what as a kid many years ago, would have been full of middle-aged and older men, is now a very diverse mix of youngsters and boys and girls, having fun, hanging out with their parents, with their friends, on dates. And golf is cool again, which, or cooler than ever, which is great. And I think if you mix into that, this kind of need and understanding for data and insight, which of course, these emerging generations have. My son cannot consume enough data. And it's in absolutely every sport that they do now, from football and the games, soccer, the games being recorded. My daughter playing netball, what was her shoot percentage? How many defensive moves did she get? How much ground did she cover? And there's that real willingness and appetite. So I think with the advances in technology, we just feel like we as a brand, we're in a very fortunate position to really support and enable by developing this junior golf program. So for us, it was an absolute no-brainer, and of course, an opportunity for us to really help that next generation coming through.
Yeah, it seems like kids, whether it's on their wrist or you said it, kind of the AI cameras, the data is everywhere, and it seems like they're obsessed with it, which is a great thing. And to be able to be on the forefront of that for Unicor, you guys play a very important role. And speaking of the range and the course, right, traditionally this is still where most of the golfers and especially the younger golfers are learning the game, right? But overall, how do you see simulation fitting into the game now?
Yeah, great question. I think it's really complementary. And actually, the stats show that, again, people discovering golf for the first time through simulation golf rather than actual golf is growing and increasing again at a rate of lots of knots. So anyone that gets, or anything that gets someone swinging a club and enjoying it is great. But also there are other differences or other elements to it, like, for example, around, weather, actually, and in many parts of the world, you can't play golf all year round. So actually, simulation golf then plays a really big role in that. But also, again, I think this kind of accessibility, this kind of family time together is so important. And my wife's brilliant at it. She's always there, like, oh, what can we do this? We can do this together. And actually, for us, we're really fortunate. We've got a great setup at home in the basement or the garage, as we call it here in the UK. And we'll go in there and we'll play together. And actually, I was in there with my daughter a few months ago, and she said, actually, Dad, I probably would be a bit intimidated to go on the range, but I've really enjoyed coming in here and learning my swing and getting to know the game. So that was great to hear. But of course, for me, it's just more great fun, quality time together, that element of competitiveness, that element of kind of learning. So I think it's really multifaceted. But then, of course, actually, there's that real kind of coaching side of it where it gives you the ability to really, through data, really understand your swing. And I never forget, that moment that I often talk about was the first time I went out to Irvine to the Unicor HQ out there, and I was using the technology and swinging the club, and like many kind of new to golf, I've got a classic kind of um, out to in, slicey swing, fadey shot, and actually there was that real moment where I swung the club, and you have that kind of connection between the feel, the shot shape, and the data. And of course, I'd had a few lessons where coaches had kind of said to me, you need to move the swing path, you need much more kind of in to out. And of course, that movement feels so unnatural. But when you're looking at the data and actually you're seeing that you're swinging out there and it's no, that's still out to in, that's still, oh yeah, that's neutral. And you get that feeling, you're like, oh wow, this is what this shot, this swing needs to feel like. That is absolutely revolutionary for people really looking to improve their game. And actually, if it's then delivered in a really immersive and engaging way, that is so useful and so helpful for kids, because I see it with my own son. Actually, I can say, "Oh, George, you just need to rotate through, or your head's moving." But if he can see it, and he
Right.
can see it on the video playback, and he can see the data, then that's what makes it so kind of immersive, fun, and informative.
Yeah, that's the real unlock. And you were hitting on my next question of the way that they're able to see the data and the way that maybe the AI trainer, if you want to speak on that a little bit more, kind of gets into play, is just a completely different experience than maybe going on the range and just working with a trainer. That one time, weather, expense, right? There's all those things. Uh, but what are the kids? What are maybe some data points that you and George maybe call out or look for, and then how is that kind of different from what you might see at versus a traditional training session? Diving in more to the numbers and the data specifically that you guys can provide.
Yeah, I think the first thing to acknowledge is that actually the kind of the foundations of what AI trainer is doing is very similar to that traditional golf lesson, where you would turn up and you would be, the coach would give you a half a bucket of balls and say, "Come on, grab your 7-iron, warm up with those," and he would
Yep.
take a look,
Oh yeah.
and he would watch your swing, and he would kind of look at some of the areas of improvement. He would make a decision on where he was going to focus first. Was it grip? Was it foot position? Was it stance? Was it swing plane, swing path? He would then start to make some corrections. He would probably film you on an iPad. He might do a film at the beginning. He might then start to draw some lines to show you maybe some spine angle or kind of foot position, head movement. Maybe towards the end of the lesson, he might show you a before and after. Well, actually, AI Trainer works in exactly the same way, that you'll take some swings and AI Trainer will do, a complete analysis of your overall swing across 60 different checkpoints, and within 5 seconds, deliver a totally personalized to your swing analysis of all the areas of improvement categorized in those areas of importance, showing you the data that's important, video playback of your club at impact two, using our patented club optics technology. So actually, it gives you that full kind of insight. But the key thing is there's so much data in golf, but it's about delivering that data and that insight in a way that you can truly use to understand and make lasting improvements to your game, rather than just, oh, I was hitting the ball great when I was with the coach and I've come back and now I can't hit it the old way and I can't hit it the new
We've
way.
been there.
uh, that's right. As opposed to with AI trainer that will, you can go in there and you can go in there daily or a couple of times a week or a month. Keep on top of it, go back, review, and of course, AI Trainer will deliver a full AI kind of Power You report on everything that you reviewed in that session, all the key data points, the swing analysis, the improvement areas you need to focus on, and ultimately it's that kind of complete kind of coaching experience. But that doesn't mean that we're actually looking to do away with coaches, because actually far from it. It can create a really, really immersive experience for coaches to accompany what they're doing anyway, either as somebody who wants some self-serve kind of improvement at home, or actually I want to go along, I want to work with a coach, and great, the coach has got AI Trainer, which means it's going to be delivered in a much more engaging and immersive way, and I get to take the data away and practice at home.
Yeah, the complementary nature of it is just what is so additive to it. And I mean, I've seen it in real life here in the States, and I'm excited to dig into it a little bit more as the winter comes in here to Chicago. But let's shift gears a little bit. Talk about how this can genuinely help the youth, right? Elite junior golf and junior golf in its nature, or just getting into the game, can be expensive. It can get expensive pretty fast, right? AI Trainer, do we believe it can genuinely like level that playing field of having a swing coach, right? We just kind of talked about it, not having to have the high end facility, the garage, the basement. So what's the thought there of, hey, do we really, is the core of this that it is going to really alleviate and help more kids get into golf and maybe play at a high level as well?
Yeah, exactly that. I mean, there are so many reasons why some kids make great progress and others don't. And so much of that is to do with kind of natural talent, their overall ability to be coachable, their own individual passion and all of those things. But I guess as we mentioned earlier, that there are also many barriers to their progress, around access to great coaching, access just to be able to practice. And if you're a really talented 13-year-old kid, your ability to practice is very limited beyond balls in the garden in chipping into a bucket. So actually having a setup that you can get access to easily, where you can go in there and you can practice your short game, and ultimately you can practice your long game too. You can really understand how you're going to shape the ball from left to right, what your distances are for every single club. That I can't emphasize enough what an impact that has. I mean, even my own son, where he was in the garage and he was practicing, hitting that kind of lovely draw. Then he was practicing fade, and he was like, "Dad, come and look at this," and he was showing me how he could shape the ball
Oh,
in
that's
both
awesome.
directions. And then actually a couple of weeks later, we went to the range, and he was there doing it on the range, firing the balls out in the same way. And actually, that was entirely down to him seeing and understanding as a 10-year-old, understanding his swing path in relation to the direction of the ball and the club face angle, and putting those things together and being able to practice it. So I think access to great coaching, the ability to practice, and of course, having the data and insight to really understand your own individual swing, is really empowering. And so that, is that going to make a big difference? For sure. But of course, all of those other really important things like your support network, your aptitude, ability to learn, your individual passion, all of those things are so important too.
And James, to close it out here, what gets you most excited about the golf industry, about the academy, about the work that you're doing? Right, I'll kind of give you the floor to see what maybe is on the horizon and what gets you out of bed in the morning.
Um, yeah, I think making a real difference for sure. We've got some great launches coming later this year. that we announced at the PGA show with Amy, that's going to take AI Trainer to the next level, to create a really truly immersive coaching experience to really help people elevate their game and enjoy their game so much. And for us, really, if we can create truly engaging, informative, educational, but enjoyable experiences, that's where we're going to win, and that's what we're really fired up about. And actually, AI and its, as that technology is growing, and for us as a business, how we've really been able to utilize that to move at pace now, whether it from kind of organizing club data right the way through to our ability to truly measure the ball flight and accuracy, is so important to us, and that's what we're very excited about.
I love it, James. Well, one more time, if you have anything you want to shout out, anyone you want to shout out, this is your time. I'll give you the floor. But if not, thank you so much for coming on. I'm excited to go check out all the products and follow along the Junior Academy for sure. But thank you so much again for coming on and being a great guest. This is something that obviously is passionate to me in youth sports and in golf, somewhere where I hope, just like your son, my son, and I can hit balls in the garage and on the course and the range. So this is something that hits home for me for sure.
Yeah, that's right. Shout out to all of those kids that are really pursuing their dreams, and all those incredible parents, uncles, older brothers, sisters, friends, neighbors that are helping and supporting those kids to reach their dreams as well. So thank you again. Really appreciate coming on the show, Cam, and I'll be watching everything that you guys do going forward. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you, James. Talk to you soon.
Bye bye. Thank you.
Bye.